Cafés do Brasil, a sustainable business from smallholder to large farmer. Widely known as the largest coffee producer in the world, Brazil is a country of small-scale coffee growers. More than 90% of Brazilian coffee growers are considered smallholders, and 80% of all coffee growers are classified as family farmers. 3/4 of these small-scale growers plant coffee in areas smaller than 5 hectares. And the average farm has about 7 hectares under coffee. Half of the country's production comes from smallholders. They are the main source of the abundant supply that makes Brazil an attractive coffee origin for its clients. With a production of 20 million bags per year, small-scale Brazilian growers would constitute the second largest coffee-producing country in the world, if grouped together. The main objective of small-scale coffee growers in Brazil is to produce good quality coffee in an efficient and sustainable way. They are small businesses that comply with local legislation, labor, environment, and others, and use good agricultural practices to produce sustainable coffees. Smallholders in Brazil have access to state-of-the-art technology for coffee production and use crop protection products in a sustainable manner. Many use handheld mechanical equipment for harvesting or share large self-propelled harvesting machines. They start post-harvesting processing on the farm and have access to good dry milling and storage facilities. All this is facilitated by the organization of growers in cooperatives. As co-op members, they achieve sufficient scale to purchase crop protection products and other inputs together. Cooperatives provide technical assistance in dry milling and storage facilities at reasonable prices. Co-ops also trade coffee at fair prices, provide financing for working capital, and access to other credit lines. The strong support received by coffee growers of all sizes, with favorable terms for smallholders, ensures the present and future supply of Brazilian coffee.
O grande sucesso da cooperativa está justamente isso. Ele está perto do pequeno, que representa 80% dos nossos cooperados, apesar de representar só em torno de 40% a 50% do café que entra aqui, mas é um café garantido, fiel, e a cooperativa pode contar com esse café em qualquer necessidade. A cooperativa, ela financia os insumos no programa Café com Lucro com um prazo de 1 ano. Em setembro agora, nós temos mais um Café com Lucro, onde o produtor, mediante a receita agronômica de defensivos e fertilizantes, ele compra o que ele necessita, vai retirando durante o ano, e ele pode trocar essa dívida em sacos de café.
A highly competitive supply chain, from farm gate to harbor, transfers 85% of the export price of coffee to growers, a world record. This income allows growers to adopt sustainable practices and to fully comply with rigorous environmental and labor laws. The Brazilian Forest Code requires that at least 20% of rural areas be covered with natural vegetation that can only be exploited by sustainable forest management. The code also calls for the preservation of areas within 30 meters of water bodies, as well as those on slopes and tops of hills. These areas are classified as permanent preservation areas. In Brazil, small-scale coffee farmers have grown coffee in combination with other crops for generations. Vegetable gardens, orchards, and livestock complement the income of these families. Water conservation is another differential in Brazilian coffee production. Dry processing, which produces natural coffees, is the most commonly used method in Brazil. As the name indicates, this is the most efficient process in terms of water use. The characteristically Brazilian pulped natural process uses small amounts of water that are reused in other activities on the farm. Other waste from coffee processing is composted for further use in the soil. Coffee husk is used as fuel for coffee dryers. Workers on Brazilian coffee farms benefit from strict legislation that grants them good labor conditions. Farm workers enjoy a fixed minimum wage, limited working hours, paid vacation, annual bonuses, unemployment benefits, Social Security, and access to the public health system. The safety and well-being of families that work on coffee farms are a permanent concern in Brazil. Safe and adequate transportation is provided for workers who do not live on the farm. Seasonal workers have their meals in appropriate places, access to adequate restrooms and washing facilities, and sleep in comfortable houses or dorms. Measures to enhance worker safety include training and orientation on the handling and application of agrochemicals, training for machine and equipment operators, etc. Coffee growers also provide individual protective equipment to all their workers. These mandatory safety items are used throughout the coffee production process. In Brazil, youngsters under 16 years of age are not allowed to work, and hiring them is illegal. Children that live in rural areas go to school by free public transportation or attend schools that are located near their homes. Digital inclusion of farm workers and their children is increasing. Adult education and technical education in rural areas are a reality today.
O Brasil é extremamente competitivo na produção de café. Nós sabemos das responsabilidades, das obrigações que temos com o meio ambiente e com o trabalhador, mas pelo ganho da produtividade, pelo ganho da capacidade dos nossos trabalhadores, eu tenho certeza que o Brasil continuará sendo o principal e o maior fornecedor de café do mundo.
High yields with environmental conservation and social responsibility are a reality and an obligation in the production of Cafés do Brasil. This is what makes Brazil produce the most sustainable coffees in the world and to be the largest global producer of sustainable coffees. More than 20 million bags of sustainable coffee are produced every year. Brazil supplies sustainable coffees in volumes that are demanded by the market, with a range of unique qualities, differentiated coffees, specialty coffees, and microlots, all produced sustainably by small, medium, and large-scale coffee growers. When it comes to sustainability, we raise the bar. It is for all these reasons that Brazil will continue to be the world's most important coffee supplier, its main source of sustainable coffees, and home to a dazzling diversity of qualities. Enjoy Cafés do Brasil. Be a part of this experience.